wasn't so bad. There are a couple of moments in there where the arpeggios weren't what they should have been. So let's go back to the top. There was one spot where I think I played, well, this is later, so I don't know if it's really relevant now. But I wanted to check because there was one spot where I played an F natural because that's what's written, but it sounded like it might have needed to be an F sharp, but Height didn't change it in his edition, so I'm going to assume that what's written is correct and I'm just overthinking it. So let's go back to the beginning. I want to play the beginning with the metronome a little bit because I think I'm still not quite at the tempo I want to be. Well, that didn't line up exactly right. Yeah, I rushed through those for sure. So let's mark that. So that's the balance, is don't rush through that 30-second note passage, and also don't drag when we get back into the 16ths. I'm going to put the subdivisions on just for a second. I hope you won't mind humoring me. Just want to make sure it's lining up. That's better. I was still a hair behind when I came out of those 30 seconds. That was better. So let's see if I can keep that going, but on my own from the beginning. I'm still rushing a little bit. It's the rest. I'm not giving the rest enough time. That's better. I'm going to keep going for now. Oh, I rushed again. I'm going to put a big circle on those 8th rests so that I don't ignore them. No, that's still not quite right. Now I think I'm overthinking it. That stretch one more time. That was just a slow, lazy finger, but I'm going to kind of highlight that little stretch, just to make sure I'm getting a nice D major arpeggio in there and I'm not doing anything strange. Yeah, it's that first finger. My first finger is being slow today. steady as I would like it. So if you're following along in your own copy of Rose and whatever measure that is, I'm sorry, I don't have them numbered. If you have an F natural, change it to an F sharp, because I'm pretty sure if height says that's what it's meant to be, it sounds to me like it's supposed to be an F sharp, so we're just going to go with that. So I didn't get that breath in quite fast enough. I do need to take a breath there, but it's going to have to be quick, because my last big breath for a while is there before the meno mosso. So one more time. That time was my ring finger slowing me down. Oh, but I don't want that note to be clipped short. I need to grab a breath there. This will be easier without the metronome because I can fudge the timing a little bit more to make it musical. But I want a nice, long, nicely phrased D, but I don't want to clip it too short, and I have to have time for that breath. A quick breath. It doesn't have to be a big breath. Usually when I circle the breath, that's me telling myself it's like a big breath, but this can be like a little breath in parentheses, just a quick one to make sure I make it to the end of the phrase without dying out. That wasn't quite right. Big breath. So whoever uploaded this to IMSLP, it looks like they wanted no breath right here, but I am going to take a little one just to make sure I can make it through there. And of course a big one here. Does anybody else struggle with this? Any other musicians who use your iPad for sheet music, like when you try and mark things, you accidentally turn the page? I'm guessing not if you have the pedal. I don't have the page turning pedal, so it's just a tap when I need to turn the page, but sometimes I guess it's the way I lean my hand against it. It thinks I'm trying to page turn instead of trying to write, and also because it's upright, maybe that has something to do with it. Let's do that one more time. I don't want to get that soft. So there's not a lot happening with the dynamics through here. We have forte here at the beginning. And I feel like it just kind of stays in that area until we have the meno mosso, that's piano, and then we're back at the forte at tempo 1. Oops. I don't want to get too soft too soon, because I think they're subito dynamics. You know, there should be not much in the way of gradual change, except I think here at the end, oops, that should be forte, so maybe a nice ascending crescendo through there. I'm going to go back to tempo 1, I think. I'm not really taking it any slower at the meno mosso right now because of the metronome. This is already slower than I would call performance tempo. So I'm just going to practice the whole thing here. And I think at tempo like 76 to 88, the meno might be about here. So I think it'll sound nice once it's more prepared. I did the same thing again. I don't want to get that soft there. I want to make sure that I stay supported through that descending scale. shouldn't have missed it, but I did. So good to go back and practice it. Same thing again, back at tempo 1. It almost sounds like it should be E natural, but I'm not sure. Yeah, you know, I think you can make a case for either, but it's printed E flat and it's not changed in the height, so that was a wrong note on my part. So let's talk about that part through here. It's a little tricky. My tendency when we have like these ascending groups here is to rush. So I don't want to rush. I want to make sure I line up with the metronome right there. I'm gonna go ahead and mark all those beats in. Well, no, just those two. Make sure I'm like right there. No, I'm gonna mark them in through the next measure too, because it's kind of the same phrase. Okay, this is one of those studies where the notes are not that hard. B flat major is not a difficult key to play in on the clarinet. There are a few little twists and turns that are tricky, but overall it's a fairly easy key signature. But there are a couple moments here that are deceptively hard for me, either because they make me want to push myself ahead and rush, which is something I don't want to do, or it's just that finger combination is like, it's not like I often play it wrong, but it's like my fingers don't land on it just right, and it kind of sets me up with this unsteadiness going forward. And it means it's like trying to regain your balance. You know, sometimes you do and it's fine and you carry on, but then sometimes you never quite recover, and then the big mistake, the really noticeable mistake happens further down the line. So I want to work on this a little bit more. It's right there. It's getting off the A flat to the G. I'm doing something weird with that connection. So I just want to make a mark. Maybe just adjusting the way I think about it, or making sure my awareness is there when I get there will help. This is another one of those places where the connection is weird. And I think it's because I don't expect the big jump down to C. So I'm going to mark in the C right there. It's like a little note to myself that that's what's coming next, so that my fingers are ready for it. And I definitely could have made more of every one of these accents. I didn't do enough that time. Oh, that's what it is. I need to sort out my pinky situation. So here, the C, I'm going to do right hand C here with left hand B. And then I'm going to do left hand C here, right hand E flat, and that should sort that out. Here, I'm going to start on this C because it's much more secure. And then I'm going to play the B here with both, and then D, and then I'm going to switch to the left hand C so I can get that right hand E flat. So it'll look like this. except I didn't have that planned out adequately before. So I'm hoping now that I've kind of identified it, it'll sound better. I'm gonna go back a couple bars. And this is a place where I feel like I'm gonna need a breath. And there's not really a good place to take one unless I create a gap of space here for the breath, which is gonna be tricky to do with the metronome, but I'm gonna try it. No, I don't want to break that up. So I'm not really sure where I'm going to get that breath. It would actually make more sense, I think, to put the breath in here before that jump down to the C. Maybe. Might be better. It's not going to work with the metronome. I'll have to try it and pace it correctly once I am off the metronome and things are a bit more free. But I think that might make better sense. And there's another one of those big jumps. Two big jumps, actually. Jump up to the D and then down to the A. They're not really that big, but they're awkward for me, for my fingers. That just needs a little bit of practice. I don't know if I'll achieve the smooth connection I want in just an hour's time, but a little practice and I think that'll be fine. There's another one of those moments where I want to add in an extra note, but really shouldn't. I'm gonna go back to the beginning one more time and play the first couple of lines with the metronome before I try playing it without. Wanting to rush. Still ahead. I do feel like this is a study that can have some natural push and pull, some accelerando and ritardando. You know, it could be a bit rubato, at least in places. But right now, I always like to make sure I can play whatever I'm working on exactly with the metronome before I start bringing in the rubato. I want to make sure that like it's mathematically correct before I start adding the push and pull, because I feel like that's the only way to make the phrasing make sense once you add in the rubato. I also had a teacher teach me to practice my rubato, my tempo changes with the metronome, which is really challenging sometimes, but very helpful. I'm going to run it through with the metronome one more time, maybe with a little bit of stopping and starting to grab some things here or there that still need a little work, and then I'll run. Yeah, let's go from the beginning one more time. went as nicely as I liked, but it was going better. I'm going to put that D flat, that I'm going towards D flat there so that I don't forget. This is another one of those turnarounds that I find to be quite difficult. And in this time, what makes it difficult is the fact that we're only doing a step. It's just a C to D, and it's not a skip. Finger-wise, but I ran out of air. It's that D to the D flat, D to the E flat I don't want to rush. So let's just highlight that little stretch. Why don't I run it from the top? I'm going to try and do it without the metronome. I'm probably still going to rush those places, but I'm going to do my best to balance it out and make it as musical as possible. I'm going to check in. I'm going to stay at this slower tempo. I won't take the minnow any slower. I'll just kind of keep it steady here, I think.